For more than 20 years now, Romania has been a steadfast and valued ally. You host the French-led NATO forward land forces, strengthening our deterrence and defense posture on our eastern flank. Next week, as part of the Dacian exercise, NATO will exercise scaling the presence from a battalion to a brigade. Romania provides important leadership in the context of the Black Sea region. You already mentioned it, which is, can I stress this, of strategic importance to the whole of the alliance. NATO also highly values Romania's, Bulgaria's and Turkey's efforts in this Black Sea region to expand demining and patrols. You contribute to NATO missions in Kosovo and Iraq, contributing to peace and stability beyond your borders. And you are a strong supporter of Ukraine as they defend against Russian aggression and pursue peace. Romania understands the importance of investing in defense, and you lead by example. You already spend more than 2% of your GDP on defense, with plans to increase to 3.5% by 2030. And an additional 1.5% of GDP is earmarked for defense and security-related investments. In all these, NATO and the defense industry are working hand in hand to accelerate innovation, procurement and production. We are working together to scale up production while driving down cost, to speed up innovation and adaptation, and stay ahead of the curve, because our adversaries will continue to test us. We cannot be found wanting. We have vital work to do together.
What happened with the withdrawal of hundreds of military personnel from our country's territory was viewed with concern, and some even considered it to be an invitation to Russia. Therefore, I would like to ask you how NATO viewed this change, and you spoke a little earlier about the military capabilities that will be brought in. I would like to know if, to date, any countries have offered to make up for this withdrawal of Americans from Romanian territory.
Well, let me first say that adjustments to US force posture are not unusual. And even with this adjustment, the US force posture in Europe remains larger than it has been for many years. There are still many more US forces on the continent than before 2022, and you have seen the commitment by President Trump and his administration made very clear at the summit in The Hague of his total commitment to NATO and to our joint endeavors. And maybe focus a little bit on the two main subjects today, the forward land forces. But also, let me stress very much what the President said about the forward land forces. The fact that we are training here to scale them up from 1,500 to over 5,000 troops, so that we are able, whenever necessary, to immediately get all the troops in Romania needed to bring the forward land forces at the level where they can help to defend Romania. But let me add another thing, and this is the following. Yes, we have Eastern Sentry. Fantastic, great, we need it because it defends the whole eastern flank, again from the high north up to and including the Black Sea and beyond. And yes, we have the forward land forces in 8 countries now, including Romania, because it helps us with many countries participating to defend all the countries on the eastern flank. But this is not all. Of course, you have your own proud Romanian armed forces to defend Romania. But if an attack would take place from whoever, be it the Russians or whoever would attack NATO or would attack Romania particularly, it is not only Eastern Sentry which will help you. It is not only the forward land forces which will help you, it is then the whole of NATO which will come to the rescue with its fleet of F-35s, its full naval capacity and its full land forces capacity. This is how NATO works. And not only in theory, but because we have all the plans in place to make sure that we defend every inch of Allied territory. And I really want to stress this, because otherwise there is this feeling we have all these abbreviations and activities. We need them on a day-to-day basis. We can scale them up wherever necessary. We can bring more capabilities where needed. But in the end, if this country would be under attack, it is 31 other nations coming to the rescue of Romania. This is how NATO works. And I think this makes us unbeatable, absolutely unbeatable. And that is why I believe that nobody will ever try.
Have any other allies already committed to replace these troops with their own? Thank you.
Again, this happens all the time. I really think we are making a little bit too much out of this. So the US has a big presence in Europe, and that presence is there. And within that presence, they are always looking how can they make best use of their resources they have in Europe, within, of course, helping NATO to defend every inch of NATO territory. These adjustments take place. Please don't read too much into that.